Legend tells of a legendary warrior
Narration. Also,
whose kung fu skills were the stuff of legend.
legendary legend.
Pure awesomeness!
This sin will be representative of all the film's instances of overly enthusiastic slang in lieu of jokes. It's the DreamWorks way. How did Poe get down from that high up so quickly? He's either mastered teleportation in his fantasy, or this is later. All his former foes are gone, and it's just raining cats and dogs.
Never before had a panda been so feared and so loved.
Pandas of the past have set a pretty low bar for both of those. Pandas mostly just lay around, eat bamboo, and don't have sex. The Furious Five seem rather nonchalant about being on fire.
The Furious Five!
I wonder how much DreamWorks had to pay Neil Moritz to call him that.
We should hang out.
Why is Monkey the only one who wants to hang out with him, even in his own fantasy? Also, this is one of the 7 brief times Jackie Chan as Monkey gets to speak. Why are Poe's dreams/fantasies two-dimensional?
Oh, get up!
Is that small cot his bed? Merch pandizing. Poe is able to fall down the stairs without cutting the shit out of his hand with the ninja star he's holding. How is Poe's father a duck? I mean, I'm all for adoption or animal-based movies, but in early China, a duck adopting a panda? I just don't see it. Poe falls down the stairs, gets up, and picks up the radishes with both hands. Yet a ninja star ends up in these noodles? It's possible that Ping uses ninja stars as a garnish, but that doesn't explain the whereabouts of the one Poe was previously holding.
Oh, happy day. My son finally having the noodle dream.
I don't know a lot about cooking noodles or owning a noodle restaurant, but is the only qualification having a dream about noodles? Specifically, the noodle dream? I didn't have a dream about making fun of movies for a living. Oh, wait, yeah, I did. How are those rabbits not super pissed that Poe and his dad are just chit-chatting and not serving them soup? I hope that was a challenging special order for that pig. If not, I don't understand how this is the most popular noodle shop in the Valley of Peace. It took that pig forever to get his noodles. This would all be different if they had Yelp.
Didn't you ever, want to do something else? Something besides noodles?
It's the hero has dreams beyond what his family wants cliché, even though being a 4th-generation restaurateur sounds like a pretty nice gig.
I thought about running away and learning how to make tofu.
So why didn't you?
Oh, because it was a stupid dream.
Poe is not telling his father that this is not only something he could still accomplish, but also a smart business decision to expand his menu.
Me making tofu?
Movie thoroughly eviscerates tofu. Also, why do some of the noodle soup patrons get table service while the others pick up at the counter? And does he really need to know the tables? I feel like he could just pass out noodles to whoever doesn't have noodles.
Tigers, you need more ferocity. Monkey, greater speed. Crane, height.
Out of all curt one-word feedback sessions, the most shameful is Crane needing more height. He's actually a flying bird who doesn't need kung fu to do what birds naturally do. Hilarity aside, shouldn't Master Oogway possess some kind of wind-altering power that would allow him to blow out all the candles with a simple tilt of the staff? Or does he need to attend the Lord Blackwood School of Extinguishment? Also, holy Jesus, it must have taken him forever to light those candles. I bet DreamWorks is working on a prequel, where Oogway is lighting candles and Poe is trying to stick ninja stars in his bedroom wall for an hour and a half. Master Shifu attended the Lord Blackwood School of Extinguishment and didn't invite anyone else. So do all the creatures of this universe have low-resolution memories, or is it just Shifu and Poe?
Tai Lung will return. That is impossible. He is in prison.
Well, it would be impossible if he was dead. Is this movie teaching children the lesson that it's better to execute your enemies instead? Is that a magic staff? Does this turtle use magic? Why not use magic instead of kung fu?
And you'll sell noodles to all of them?
Selling noodles?
Poe does not know the difference between wanting a different job and actively trying to put his family out of business. Where does he think the money for his ninja stars comes from? The Valley of Peace exclusively consists of pigs, geese, and rabbits. This is just another prime example of Hollywood pig, geese, rabbit washing. So did the Furious Five get dropped out of a helicopter, or do they all have the ability to jump 400 feet into the air? Why the hell is there a lone, small hole awkwardly placed in the top right corner of this wall? Maybe they were training one day and someone said, "Man, it's hot. Could someone open a small hole in the wall?" And someone else responded, "There isn't one. We should have one installed."
The 1,000 tongues of fire.
I was disappointed to find out there is not an adult movie called this. Also, there are very clearly 43 missiles in that thing, but I guess 43 tongues of fire didn't have as good a ring to it. Every time I see them all together, I think to myself, there are 4 of them. Why are they called the Furious Five? Oh wait, I didn't see the mantis. That's racist. Surviving the 400-foot fall should be further evidence to Shifu and the Five that he is in fact the Dragon Warrior.
The universe has brought us the Dragon Warrior.
Choosing the Dragon Warrior is an incredibly vague process. The oldest dude just points randomly and whatever is in front of his finger is the winner?
There are no accidents.
Not believing in accidents.
Escape from Chorgum prison is impossible.
Dialogue that would not need to be spoken if it were ultimately true.
1,000 guards and 1 prisoner.
All subsidized by Valley of Peace tax dollars. Ridiculous. What must the taxes be like for these citizens?
Behold, Tai Lung.
Between letting a random messenger in to see the world's most guarded prisoner and the haphazard way they chose Dragon Warrior, I'm concerned about this ancient Chinese animal society's looseness with safety and protocol. They made me Google, does China have rhinos? I'm not watching Kung Fu Panda to learn, people.
Master Flying Rhino's armor. The Sword of Heroes.
The invisible trident of destiny?
It's almost like Poe is aware this is a movie, and he needs to explain everything he is seeing so we can know why he's freaking out. Otherwise, he's just talking to himself.
You will never be the Dragon Warrior until you have learned the secret of the Dragon Scroll.
Whoa. So, how does this work? Do you have a ladder or a trampoline
Or perhaps a chair and some fireworks? Or maybe one of the Furious Five could just jump up there and get it. Poe's panda tooth looks suspiciously like a human tooth. Poe didn't die after falling into the kung fu training area / death trap. Granted, that would make for a pretty short and dark kids cartoon. So, is this duck their slave? Just asking.
Or even see his toes.
This is 2 of the 7 times Jackie Chan gets to speak. Doofy protagonist hears the cool kids talking bad about him behind his back cliche. Also, why is Poe hiding out behind rocks along an obscure walkway in the middle of the night? So does China use these kind of paper screens the same way Japan does? Kung Fu Panda, stop trying to make me learn.
Is that what this is? I'm so sorry. I thought it was just a regular peach tree.
Poe may not have any kung fu skills at this point, but his talking with a mouthful of peaches skills are on point.
Quit. Don't quit.
Noodles. Don't noodles.
Don't noodles? What everyone may be interpreting as Oogway's wisdom is really just Oogway's Alzheimer's. I can only assume that Tai Lung's back muscles are filled with compressed air, because if not, there's no way to explain these rods flying out of his back with this high velocity. For such a high-quality prison run by rhinos, they really didn't think through the restraining process, even though this prison is completely dedicated to Tai Lung. It's clear that he can escape if he just has any piece of anything. I guess I can excuse the tiger with super strength that can lift 2-ton boulders on either side of him without having his arms ripped off. But what I still can't excuse is this prison feeling that this was a better solution than just bolting the chains down to the pillar he was standing on. This takes the henchmen are terrible shots cliche to a whole new level. They have giant crossbows on mounts, and he is still relatively restrained. So this was pure luck for Tai Lung, which brings up the question. What was his plan if this didn't happen? Was he just going to pull those giant heavy rocks up and hope for the best?
You're not going anywhere, and neither is he!
Rhino Clark Duncan. Also, Rhino Nipple. This escape is brought to you by Cartoon Physics, allowing Bugs Bunny to thwart other wascals since 1938.
He's coming this way!
He won't get far.
This guard isn't acknowledging that he has already gotten pretty far. Even dealing with this very implausible escape, how exactly did Tai Lung make it out of that fall? I guess the animators got too lazy to animate him out of that last predicament, so they just ignored it altogether. Rhino Helm scream. Didn't place any of those 1,000 guards around the perimeter, huh? And the dynamite would have gone off by now. Did Tai Lung disintegrate him? Why are we just seeing this copper horn shield that has no obvious purpose drop to the ground?
Fly back there and tell them. The real Dragon Warrior is coming home.
This makes for a cool movie moment of evilness, I guess. But in no way does this make any military sense for the villain to do this. This is 1,000 times worse than monologuing. Sending advance word to the enemy / good guys that you're coming? Cocky is one thing, stupid is another.
Good morning, Master.
Does the animal that comes out of the room first get some sort of prize? This extreme urgency would otherwise be pointless. So I guess Shifu's plan is have the Furious Five beat the shit out of him until he decides to go home. I thought this was a family movie. Cartoon or not, Poe is dead.
But he will.
Another reminder that Jackie Chan got paid handsomely to say 5 sentence fragments, and 2 complete sentences that will come later.
But if I didn't know any better, I'd say he was trying to get rid of me.
What gave it away? Was it the moment where he literally kicked you out of the Jade Palace?
Shifu found him.
Well, not so much found as was given anonymously. Does this ancient Chinese society that is made of animals and also has magic have stigma against unwed mothers too?
And he raised him as his son.
Father-son dynamic adds wholly unoriginal dynamic to the hero/villain dynamic in this movie. Dynamic.
But Oogway saw darkness in his heart and refused.
More Yoda Anakin ripoff. This is what I'm talking about with the magic. Why the make the proteges go through literal kung fu gauntlets when there's obviously magic that can be taught? Are we sure this turtle is on the up and up?
And he's stuck with you. A big, fat panda.
Everyone keeps picking on Poe for being fat, but pandas are fat. There's nothing to be done about it. No one gives the snake any for not having arms.
There are no accidents.
Not believing in accidents. Someone needs to tell Shifu that not every moment requires kung fu.
My time has come. You must continue your journey without me.
Oogway heard that Tai Lung was coming, and he accidentally picked a fat panda to be the Dragon Warrior, so he is getting the out of Dodge. This is the most useless magic turtle I've ever seen. What is his MO? Did he drop off evil Tai Lung at the martial arts center to prove a point about fate or something?
Tigers, you gotta try this.
3 cheers for Jackie Chan's 4th line. You, awesome movie. You can totally see that. and wouldn't need to ask what before slurping. Movie rips off the doing an impression of the cranky person when the cranky person walks in on you thing from all the movies.
Let us stop, Tai Lung. This is what you've trained us for.
No.
He trained them to defeat he who has already been defeated and subsequently imprisoned? It's convenient that he broke out, or all of their training would have been a waste of time. Shifu apparently doesn't notice the 5 are missing for a long time while he trains Po.
The pool of sacred tears.
Huh? Funny enough, the Pool of Sacred Tears was the name of my band in 8th grade.
When you have been trained, you may eat.
So basically, Shifu is training Po the same way I train my dog to sit, stay, and roll over. The inevitable training montage we all knew was coming. Imagine Jack Black in a booth recording kung fu sounds for this scene. I highly doubt that Po would be motivated by a bowl of steamed carrots and lettuce. How did they get that soup up there? And how does that not burn the f*** out of his hands and head?
And you have been trained. You are free to eat.
Wow, years of kung fu training mastered in a business week. He must really be the Dragon Warrior. Kung fu dumpling hockey. Well, the kung fu version of the shell game is f***ing unfair as hell.
I'm not hungry.
Shifu shouldn't be hungry either. He ate all the dumplings, which raises the question, why is Shifu viewing this as Po being successful? He only got one of the 11 dumplings. This is a kung fu battle where he can quantifiably see who the winner is. Man, that prison is really f***ing far away, dude.
Po? So that is his name. Po.
Monkey pulls the airport police chief dick move of naming the warrior to the villain from Die Hard 2. I don't see why it's such a big deal that Tigress falls. She can just do a flip right before she hits the ground and she'll be fine. I know we have taken some pretty serious liberties with physics in the movie, but Mantis holding the rope bridge with all his friends on it seems far-fetched even for the universe filled with kung fu fighting animals. I love how the 5 are renowned for their greatness, but due to the movie's overhyping of the Dragon Warrior, 4 of the 5 can't take out a bad guy together, which is some bullshit. Bruce Lee was a badass, but against 4 other badasses he'd have lost, dog. That should have killed him, right? Is he dead? I'm willing to suspend disbelief for animal kung fu scenes that involve a mantis holding up a giant rope bridge filled with tigers and leopards, but smacking into the rocks like that is going to bust up a skull. Never mind. Why is the nerve attack accompanied with a Pink Floyd laser show on the recipient's body? Also, even though it is a very quick and powerful way to stop your opponent, this is the first time we've seen Tai Lung use it. Even after fighting the Furious 5 just now on all the guards in the Chorgom prison. Also, why not just kill them?
You have done well, Panda.
So well, in fact, that I have not only not worried about the missing 5 warriors, but I haven't even noticed they are gone.
The mark of a true hero is humility.
Yeah, tell that to Cam Newton. Yep, he paralyzed 4 of the 5 and left the flying one to return them home, but somehow also allowed all that to happen before his own arrival. Paralyzed these 4 and then, what, wait in the bushes for a while? Watch Netflix? The f*** did this guy wait around so long for? And if you tell me it's so the 5 would all make it home in time to make the battle a challenge, I'll tell you he's the worst bad guy ever. He doesn't want to win. He f***ing wants to lose, but only when facing everyone.
He's too fast! Sorry, Po.
For those of you keeping score at home, that's 5 lines for Mr. Chan. Why does undoing the nerve attack look like Shifu is a chiropractor for Viper and Tigress, but for Mantis and Monkey it looks like he's unlocking an iPhone? So Kung Fu is flower petal magic invented by a turtle. Got it. No one seems the slightest bit concerned that Crane's neck is visibly broken.
Come, little one. Let's find your mama.
Maybe they realized they didn't give Jackie Chan enough to say as this movie went on, so they wrote in some complete sentences for him, even though what he says still contributes nothing to the story. How the actual f*** did he manage to do this? We will continue to ignore the no thumbs rule that has been violated numerous times in this movie, but I can't ignore that his arms/wings don't even reach to Po's sides. Maybe Ping is also a kung fu master who is able to manipulate objects with his mind.
To make something special, you just have to believe it's special.
The old "there's actually nothing special about blank, you just have to believe in yourself" cliche.
But when Oogway said otherwise, what did you do?
This flashback of Oogway saying no is different from the other flashback of Oogway saying no. Did Oogway tell Shifu and Tai Lung that he couldn't have the Dragon Scroll 2 separate times? Or was Tigress just completely making up that previous flashback in her own mind? There's a terrible draft at the Hall of Warriors. Someone should shut a window so those peach tree petals stop coming in.
Scroll is mine!
No one, from Shifu to Po, bothers to tell this dude the fucking scroll is blank. I mean, what happens if Po stops the fight right here and just gives the scroll to Tai Lung? He reads it, finds it blank, and then what? Is he still gonna kill everyone? Maybe he even has an existential crisis and goes into a trance. My point is, fighting this dude over a worthless scroll is pointless. I think Po is the Dragon Warrior because he is a boneless, gelatinous blob that cannot feel pain. Maybe the reason Shifu came so close to being defeated just now is he didn't fight silly enough. Holy shit, that building was brittle. The goose, pig, or rabbit that conducted the building inspection clearly didn't check the load-bearing studs. Matrix Pandalutions. Po basically Jar Jars himself through this entire movie. So the panda makes a crater, but Tai Lung makes a Wile E. Coyote hole when he hits the ground? This movie switches between real physics and cartoon physics so many times it's dizzying. Pick a lane, yo! Music playing right now sounds like Look Away, Look Away, Look Away, Dixieland. And now you will hear that forever. You're welcome.
You want to get something to eat?
So now that Po is officially the Dragon Warrior, he and Shifu have the same relationship as college roommates.
Slinky, go!
Oh, man!
What, you want me to teach you something? You want to learn something? All right, here's a useful lesson for you. Give up. Just quit.
Do or do not. There is no try.
That means carnage. Christmas means carnage!
Nothing! You were not meant to be the dragon warrior.
You were the chosen one!